So I don't typically watch these types of films. My general go-to is the big blockbuster type movies, but I'd heard some interesting stuff about this film and I thought I'd give it a watch. This is my review on Rise of the Footsoldier. In case you don't know, Rise of the Footsoldier is a British crime thriller, if you will, that came out in 2007 and tells the story of the Rettendon or Range Rover murders. The film documents the life of Carlton Leach, a former Essex hardman who rose through the ranks of the underworld.
More money? More responsibility? What do you say?
As someone who's new to these types of movies, I have to say I was pleasantly surprised by the film. Everyone in the movie has great character development as the film progresses through the late 70s, through the 1980s, and finally up to 1995, when the Rettendon murders actually took place. As I've just said, the movie is primarily focused on the Rettendon murders, or the Essex murders, or the Range Rover murders. Those are the main three accepted names for what happened. In 1995, where three Essex gangsters were brutally murdered in a farm lane in Rettendon, Essex, hence the term Rettendon murders. The film really builds up to it by showing what a lot of people thought happened that night. Narration says the ones who really knew what happened are in the ground, and that is actually true. The only people who knew were the victims themselves, Pat Tate, Tony Tucker and Craig Rolfe. The cast of the film is also superb. Ricky Harnett, who a lot of people probably don't know, he's mainly known prominently here in the UK. For those of you who watched the film 28 Days Later, most of you may know him. He portrays Carlton Leach, and he is definitely one of the film's main standouts. And on a different note, the violence in this is so brutal. You can understand that since the film is based on the murders of Essex gangsters, yeah, it's extremely it's just so violent. I mean, it's almost like an entire bloodbath. Might as well be a Tarantino movie. Anyway, moving back to the cast, Craig Fairbrass, who the soap fans may know as Dan Sullivan from EastEnders, as Pat Tate, is a standout among others because of a certain scene in the film involving a pizza cutter. Anyway, throughout the cast is absolutely amazing. Terry Stone, who plays Tony Tucker, is also another standout. I mean, everyone in the film is fantastic, and the film is extremely dark. I have to say myself, I learned quite a bit about what happened in real life, because this film is based on real life events, and it's honestly really cool, and all the text bits at the end which show what really happened. The Essex boys were murdered, and some people did have consequences, and this all did in fact happen. And I have to say, I really like all of the backstory on Carlton Leach in this, because he is in a sense the main character of the film. While the main focus is possibly the Rettendon triple murders, Carlton Leach is also the second focus of the movie in my opinion, because there's still a lot to his character. And that's what the second film talked about. Yes, there's actually a second film, and 2 prequels. Yes, prequels don't tend to do well, do they? Anyway, the rest of the film is good, and again, no one knows who committed the murders, so it was really cool to see someone's actual testimony of what happened that night. The testimony of the Range Rover murders themselves in this film were based on Darren Nichols, who was a convicted thief and self-confessed liar. This film is honestly just really good. I don't know how many times I've said that in this video, but it is good. Anyway, the movie is brutal with all the violence in it, with the torture scenes, gunshots, and the Range Rover murders themselves. And while this review may be under 3 minutes, I wanted to get this video out because the film is honestly really good. Anyway, I must say, Rise of the Footsoldier is a very good film. While a lot of people probably don't like it, the Rotten Tomatoes rating was around 14%. I don't really understand that. A lot of people probably don't like independent British films in America. Anyway, I certainly enjoyed it, so I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. The film is superb and I would definitely recommend watching it.